I know I said I wasn't gonna enter review spaces for my book. I lied like a smidge. So honestly, like, really, I think, okay, entering review spaces and then getting mad about it and like coming in for like going to war to defend your work, I feel like that's where that line should be. Cause like, let's just be real, we're humans, we need the little bit of an ego boost, we need that little confirmation that the work you did paid off. And that's how I feel today. And I just wanted to gush about it because it's a really good feeling for aspiring authors. This is one of your good days. Like, there's a handful of really good days. The first time you hit the end of a book, that's a fantastic day. The first time you hold like a physical copy of your book, beautiful day. The day you hit publish is like, oh my God. And then there's this day, the day you get a good review. And it's my first public review. I've had a couple of people reach out and talk to me, but it's been private, so like obviously I'm not going to talk about those. But I got my first public review and I'm very excited about it. So it's on my book, The Death Journey, and they included pictures and everything. So look at my little, look at, I picked that picture, and that's my book existing in somebody else's space. And like, I feel like that mom that's like, look at my kids, look at my books. So, and then like, here's chapter 7, and it's like glorious. And yeah, so the review was by me. I promise it's not me. That's just the name they picked, which made me chuckle anyways. So 5 out of 5. Thank you kindly. The little quick tagline, whatever that's called, title, says, "It felt like a friend guiding me through this extremely difficult time. A much needed book. Warmed my Grinch heart. I'm so glad that my book feels like a friend walking you through this terrible time," because that was a line I was worried about, because like, it's a difficult thing. You're writing to inform, but I don't want to come off as academic, but I don't want to come off as too casual on like a podcast. Because again, I've talked about that. That's like the two spectrums that I base off of. Is like, is it a podcast where it's super chill, very casual, academic, trying to talk about you? Try and hit that nice middle ground. Sounds like I nailed it, hopefully, because yay. And yes, this is the entire video, just me gushing, just so you're aware. So, we're gonna read through this, and I'm gonna try to not mispronounce things and make my own words, because I tried to do this for TikTok, and I had to keep redoing it, because like, I just add words. Like, even to my own book, like, I had to catch myself so many times trying to do the audiobook, because I just change words to change words, because I'm like, this word would obviously be better. And I've done that ever since I learned how to read. Like, I remember being a little kid and my mom would have to correct me when we had to do like our out loud reading time every night for like homework, because I would just add and change words just as I've decided, because like, that's how that sentence is supposed to go and not how it actually is written. So anyways, so the review goes, "I suffered a devastating loss a few weeks before this book published. I've had a few people reach out about that, so it's now available, but it was weird to have it being published and then it not being available like as they needed. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm trying. I had been looking for a book on grief that could help me through my journey in a meaningful way that also aligned with my spiritual practice. Unfortunately, the space was woefully lacking, so this book came into my life at the exact right moment." I still think it's probably the main one on the topic, to be honest. Like, it's such an egotistical thing to say, but at the same time, I personally have not found any book that covers it like this. Mostly it's death doula or just like the concept in like a very abstract way, not a very practical, like you're grieving way. The author has done an amazing job combining the necessary mundane obligations that come when dealing with a death and magical ritual that can help you heal. Thank you. That was my goal. I'm all about practicality, and any of the books actually talk about that. Like, there's a lot of random stuff that, like, if you're the one handling it and you've never done it before, you might not think about this stuff. My dad thinks that's a really stupid book to write on, and the stupid point of a book, but, like, it's fine. I think it's worth it. So I posted about this on everywhere, And now my Facebook is like blowing up and I'm like, is that the, because you get notifications for your page and your personal, and I posted it in both places and in a few like witchy business groups, and I'm like, oh no. So it's blown up apparently a little bit. I never get notifications, so this is fun. The author has supplied rituals for each phase of the death journey that can be adjusted to your comfort or energy level. One phase of the journey, such as being bedside by your loved one as they transition, may see you only having energy or time to do a quick visualization as opposed to a more extensive ritual. Again, trying to add words. I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to read the exact words written. The struggle is real. However, another phase, such as spreading the ashes, may be a ritual you want to spend more time and energy on. Each ritual has 3 levels and can easily be adjusted to your specific needs. The author has done great research and explains everything in a comforting, concise, easy to digest manner. I can't begin to explain how this book felt like a friend guiding me through this extremely difficult time. I highly recommend it. Which is like, it just warms my little heart so much. I'm so glad that my book is helpful. I'm also really glad that the levels of witchery actually were appreciated, because that took so much freaking work. Like, I was getting to hating it so much, and I was like really at one point regretting it and being like, God, I don't even know if I need to do this. This feels like so much extra work, but I'm glad that I stuck with it and the extra work is now paying off. So yeah, I'm very excited that my book is being well loved. I really love this like thing of like, it's like a friend guiding you through this, and I'm like, oh, I am your morbid friend. Because genuinely, that is one of the roles that I play. Because like, the funny thing is that like, I have this review, I've had a few people reach out over my book and being like, really loving it. And it really, I mean, on like an egotistical, like actual human level, it is so good to know that. Like, it really makes you feel so much better when like people are enjoying your work, it's doing what you intended it to do, and it's just a great feeling. And like, it's probably the equivalent of when you're like a chef and you try a new recipe and everyone loves it and you're like, yeah, all that work that I did, all those trial dishes and stuff, it finally paid off. That's what it feels like. It's like, oh my God, yay. On like a non-egotistical way, I'm really glad that it actually is helping people. It is a resource that I want people to have because I think it's so valuable. I think not a lot of people talk about it. And like, I am the morbid friend. That's what I'm known for. Everyone describes me that way. I personally don't see it. I think I'm like rather bubbly and like kind of not, but apparently like I come across to other people as dark. And I mean, maybe the aesthetic of me just like kind of colors that instantly, because like, I do love Halloween. I do have my hair dyed black. I do constantly love The Nightmare Before Christmas. It is my all-time favorite movie. And I love to wear black, and like, I'm sitting in front of a coffin bookcase. So like, it matches, but like, it's just, it always cracks me up that that's the descriptor for me, because I don't feel like I match it. I feel like I'm just like curious with morbid stuff, but like I'm bubbly and chill about it. It's a weird line to be in. But like, as I'm getting like this review and like other people telling me that like the book's been really helpful for them, and like I've been tagged a couple times on like Instagram, and I'm like, oh my God. But like, as I'm going through that, like my real life people are like the complete opposite. Like, somebody in the family reached out to my dad and was like, you need to talk to her about this. It's very dark and depressing, and it's very concerning, the last book she wrote. My dad doesn't do the internet, so he had no idea what they were talking about. He didn't know that I've written books, because also, like, I don't know that he's ever read a book in his entire life. Like, that's just not what he does. He knows how to read. He just doesn't do books. Ever. Like, I don't think he's ever read a book cover to cover, to be honest. Like, he'll read through, like, the magazines and stuff of, like, the, like, sales and stuff for, like, Tractor Supply and whatever, but, like, he's just not a book person. So the fact that he has an author of a child, like, that's just, we don't bond over that one, to say the least. And he, like, was like, so do I, like, need to be concerned? And I'm like, no, it's a book about, like, how to handle death. And he's like, I talked about it in not a whole lot of witchery, because, like, you don't talk religion with him. He's very atheist. And so It's like, well, it's like a deal, like kind of helping people like deal with death and like what they need to do and what they need to know. He's like, that's a stupid book. Everyone knows how to deal with that. I'm like, but Dad, they don't. They really don't. That's not something everyone knows how to do at all, really. The fact that there was so many articles that I could find on the topic proves that like, no, not everyone knows this. And like, we didn't know this when we were in charge of dealing with deaths. So no, like we had to learn it. So yeah, I still don't know who the snitch is in the family. I am curious, but like, they're obviously too scared to come talk to me, which is weird. But like, on the one side of like, it's so concerning, and then other people are raving about it, and I'm like, listen, look, it's fine. We're good. It's just, oh my God. It was just a weird experience to like have that in like the same like 2-week span or whatever. Really the first month, let's just be honest. All of this has happened in a month. All of this of August. So like, it's weird in a good way. Cause like, even though like my in-life real world family doesn't approve apparently, but which is weird cause like they haven't read it and they don't ask me questions. So I'm like, whatever. If I am the weird, strange one of the family, that checks out. So I'm fine with that. Like I was 7-ish. I think I was 7. Somewhere around that ballpark. I was under 10. In the hospital, trying not to die. And I was trying to see if I could recite the Hearst song from the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books in the hospital from memory. As I'm trying not to die. So like, I don't know how they're not surprised that I would find witchcraft and I would be writing a death book for witches. I don't know how that came as a surprise. But yeah, anyways, overall, back to the point, the review I got really warmed my heart. It really is one of those that it's like, if you're an aspiring author, like, these are the reviews and things that like when you get them for your own books and you get the good ones, like that is what you make your vision board with. That is what you hang around your office space to remind you that like when the imposter syndrome kicks in, like you actually know kind of what you're doing and like the work you're doing matters on the days when you just don't want to. Like those are the good things. And it doesn't have to necessarily be books either. Like whatever your career is, like when you get a good compliment of any kind, like put it somewhere. But yeah, so anyways, this is like a really non-point of a video, but like I just wanted to sit and just be happy because this was a really nice review. Again, I'm trying not to like, if it's like not a raving review, I'm gonna just like not comment about it because like, again, review spaces are supposed to be for the readers, but every once in a while, as the author, you like to check in and be like, how's it going? Is it good? Is my baby okay out there in the world? Because again, like, for the most part, when I hit publish on a book, that book no longer is mine. It is given out to the world. It doesn't belong to me really anymore. Obviously, like, legally it's mine, but like, as like a conceptual thing, it belongs to the readers now, not me. And like, this is a weird one too, because it's a book I fully intend on having to use myself at the next death we have to deal with. And like, when it comes to like visiting the graves, like, I formally wrote out the stupid thing to do because like every single year I forget. Every year I'm like, I don't know, what should I do? I don't know. So I actually just really sat down and actually decided what to do. And so now I have that in a freaking book. I'm gonna take it with me when I go and visit the graves in a couple months. And of course I can also like be that person and like use it for promo, but also because like you gotta market your books. Duh. But like get to use that and actually use my book and be like, look, you can use it in the real world. Anyways, I'm just a dork, basically. That's the point of this video. So if you want to check out my book, you totally could. It's available. It's awesome. Apparently. So says a person online. And a few others have reached out, but again, they're private messages, so I'm not going to share like a whole lot because until they share it publicly, I feel like it's not for me to tell. But yeah, it's available and I'm very excited because it's a good feeling. My last 2 books have still got 0 reviews, 0 sales. So the fact that this one has sales, it has a review, that's a good feeling as an author. It means I did something right. And like in the next few months, like early 2024 is when I'm planning my next witchcraft book. and it is not going to be a depressing topic and not going to be a book that's really hard to market because like trying to market death is like really difficult. Trying to market witchcraft is really difficult. Combine those two and it's like, this is fun. This is really fun. Which is the word that's banning the algorithms. Because, you know, and like sometimes like it'll be the top result and sometimes it's like way down deep and it's like, like you search it, title and author name, and it still just doesn't pop up and you're like, that's great, that's fine. The more reviews it gets, it'll pull it back up. But yeah, anyways, that's enough rambling. Basically, I'm stoked that somebody left a review for my book and that it's being loved. So if you want to check it out, you could. Huge thank you to my patrons over here. Lovely folks, if you want to join them and get all the exclusive stuff that I post on Patreon, which is pretty frequently. The audiobook for this book is every Thursday. That goes until like February. I can't remember if it's the beginning or the end of February though. Sometime in February though, because I have it outlined. I'm just slowly editing it. I currently am into November right now for getting those chapters up. So it's getting there. I've hit the long chapters again, so it takes a minute. You're like sitting there editing like 30 to 40 minutes and you're like, oh my god, it's so much. But it's worth it. So anyways, that's enough rambling. Thank you for watching and just listening to me gush if you're still here. And until next time, blessed be.